Hey, welcome to part 7. We will look at some more questions on AWS SAP specialty. If you have not yet subscribed, do so. It will help you with certifications, AWS, Azure, Google Cloud. Become a member, Cloud Kernel and Ninja member, and you will gain access to so many important questions. Let us jump into this question. See, your company is telling that I'll put my SAP system on AWS. Okay, that is fine. Where? On EC2 instance. What is the EC2 instance operating system? It is Linux. They are using Linux. So they are putting SAP on AWS EC2 instance. EC2 instance is using Linux, and they need a database storage solution to provide flexibility to adjust IOPS. So basically, this is a database problem. They want the most cost-effective way, but they want to adjust IOPS regardless of actual storage size. See, when you want to adjust IOPS and you are using EC2, two things. First is we never use EFS under this scenario. EFS is a kind of a file system, and FSX is also a file system, external file system. This will make your read write slow. We want it fast. So EC2 already has EBS. EC2 already has EBS. So we will stick to EBS. But the thing is, what type of EBS? What type? Both the types will work. A and D, both the types will work. But since you are saying I want most cost effective, so this provision IOPS, this one is not cost effective. This is expensive. You know why this is expensive? D. Just a thought. Why is it expensive compared to general purpose? The reason is that general purpose does not give you SLA guarantee, but option D, IOPS SSD, will give you performance guarantee, SLA guarantee. So that means if SLA is short, then they will give you credits, AWS credits. Okay, but general purpose, nobody is telling you that performance is guaranteed. So do we want performance? See, Ferrari gives performance, but did someone tell you in the question that they are going for a Formula One racing? No. What did they say? They say I want flexibility. That means I want to use it for buying groceries, or I can use it for dropping my kids to school. So will you use a Ferrari in this scenario? No. Ferrari guarantees performance. It is a racing car. Do not use a sword where a needle is required. So option A, what it will do is it will not give you any guarantee. Okay. But then you don't want guarantee also. You want flexibility. It will give you flexibility. And the most important piece, it is cost effective. Cost effective. So you read this documentation. These are for high performance IO intensive workloads, and general purpose, it will try to balance both performance and cost. In this question, this is the next one. What has happened is they had SAP, okay, on AWS, and now they updated the EC2 instance. See, SAP was put on EC2, they have updated EC2. After they have updated, no, the startup is not happening. SAP does not start up, it failed. It's like there is a car, you change something in the engine, and now it does not start. So you first thing what you did is you tried to go to the log and see what is the problem. That is number one thing we try to do. Always go to the log and see what got messed up. So the log indicates that SAP license has expired or is invalid. Now, why has this happened? When you changed the EC2 instance, underlying hardware or underlying uh, the platform on which SAP was installed, it immediately could not recognize it and it's saying, boss, my license has expired. Why it happened? So option D is saying, boss, you cannot change like this way because EC2 does not support Java based systems of SAP. No, EC2 supports. That is not a problem. So this statement is wrong. We know it supports. In the documentation we have seen. Okay, common sense. Who will create such instance? Why it will not support? It is just a compute platform. Compute cannot make that distinction that a mother cannot say, I will not raise a daughter, or I will not raise a son, or I will not raise whatever the child is. It cannot happen that mother is a mother, father is a father. As a parent, they have to raise whatever they got. It is one. So it will not support, it's beyond question. C says that maybe Java virtual machine is not compatible with new instance type. So that is not the case. You see, this new instance, this is a platform. They are designed so that it is compatible, backward compatible, forward compatible. They try to put all of this compatibility into consideration. This also cannot be uh, a solution here. A says that the instance ID changed because you are changing the EC2 generation. That is why the instance ID changed. See, this statement is true. If you change the EC2 generation, the instance ID will change. But that will not cause this license expired error. That will not cause this error. That causes another error, not this error. So the reason this error is happening because it is not the software, it is the underlying hardware or the guy that manages that hardware. That guy's name is hypervisor. So that has changed from Zen to Nitro. In this case, we exactly don't know it's changed from what to what, but this is a close interpretation that at that level it changed, and that is causing the license expiry issue. So Zen and Nitro are two different types of hardware. So this can cause this issue because maybe SAP may be compatible with one hardware and not compatible with other hardware. That may be one, or it is saying that I spot difference in the hardware. And this error can also mean just that, hey, something at the hardware level changed and I am not comfortable with it. So to solve it, we have to update the license servers and parameters in the SAP side, kernel parameters specifically, and then we can also check if around drivers we want to change anything around drivers, and then test the application. So needless to say, anytime you are doing such kind of high intensity hardware changes, always take a backup because you never know what can go wrong. So backup should always be there. Even in your life, there should always be a backup, a plan B with in most of the things. Okay. So this is the next one where your like SAP basis administrator is there, and that guy is saying that, hey, I'm planning to deploy SAP on AWS in Linux. So see, this certification is all about putting SAP on AWS. And mostly in my experience with real life projects, I've seen people try to put it on Linux. It is more trusted. Okay, and then the basis administrator has to set up proper storage to store HANA data and log volumes. So HANA, it has monster size data sets. So this guy not only has to set up SAP but SAP HANA also. So proper storage is required because HANA is having monster size data. So which storage option this guy should use? See, S3 is beyond question. Every time if SAP will interact with files on S3, your performance will go for a toss. This is wrong. Similarly, EFS is wrong because if see, simple thing, whenever you have an EC2 instance, right, there is always a EBS volume attached with it. So use that. So when you are putting application on EC2, always rely on EBS as a data store. Don't rely on external things like S3 or EFS. See, if you have your own company and your daughter and son uh, are now 23, 24, will you try to make them the directors of the board or at least some senior role, or will you try to take people from outside, 24-year kid from outside? Does Ambani does that? His kids are owning lucrative positions in his company. So first use what is internal to you. Okay, then you go outside. That is why S3 and EFS are outside external kids. First you think of your kid. Okay, now you might say, hey, okay, option A, B, and E are all are my kids. What will fit? I have to choose two answers. Why I'm telling you? Because this question says so. See, the thing is, throughput optimized SDT, we do not need that to that extent in this case, right? Because it is extremely high performance thing, and a question is just saying that you want from a storage perspective, you have to think for HANA data volumes and log volumes. So these two would be our answers. First, general purpose option E, because it is cost effective. It does the same thing that B does, but it is cost effective. But there are no guarantees, and that I can use for just putting SAP on AWS. So this just for this portion, I can use option E, and then option B I would use for this SAP HANA guy because this guy needs um, high performance. So I would provision something, and I would get high performance, better SLAs, some guarantees I would get from the AWS systems. So that is good for SAP HANA. Why? Because SAP HANA, it is used for very aggressive, advanced analytics kind of jobs. So you need high performance because your data volume is so high that your machine learning algos can run through so many data sets to produce some analysis. So you need performance there, and you need guaranteed performance. SLA should be guaranteed. So that's why option B is good there. So if you have not yet subscribed, God knows what you are waiting for, unless you don't want to onboard the cloud journey. So people You know, uh, who should do this certification? People from SAP background, they should definitely do this. Who work in SAP day in and day out, they should definitely do this. That is one. And second is people who work on data stuff, like SAP HANA has a lot of data stuff. So you should consider doing this certification because you will understand the landscape of AWS and become a cloud kernel cloud ninja member. That will give you access to so many questions. Take that membership, keep it running for months because there are so many informative contents that we create and put it for cloud kernel and cloud ninja members. Okay. So stay tuned, stay focused. This channel is all about helping you with the concepts, how to attack the question, how to weed out the wrong options, how to arrive at the right answer. Nobody, nobody does it the way we do it. We go to the depth of explaining this. And how do we go to the depth of the darkness? Because we have actually been there. We have actually worked on similar systems and etc. So we know the industry best practices. We are working for top tier companies around these systems. So all the knowledge that comes is also based on experience. Put in your comments if you like the video. See you in the next part.